So sort of in any year, you have a equal chance of doubling versus halving along if you're at trend line, right? Which is kind of where we are right now. So I would sort of say right now we are at fair value of Bitcoin, roughly. And I would say, we have an even chance of going to say 125,000 Bitcoin in a year versus going back down to 30,000. Now that would be without the trend line growth. So the trend line growth puts you at around 100,000 by the end of this year.
In this recent interview on Real AI Learn Bitcoin with Fred Krueger, we dive into 3 key topics: the future of Bitcoin ETFs, the power law model in Bitcoin pricing, and why Bitcoin's adoption shows a clear growth trajectory. At the time of the discussion, Bitcoin was trading around $61,000, with a 1% dip in the last 24 hours and a 3% drop over the past week. As regulatory debates and the upcoming election gain momentum, Fred shares insights on what investors can anticipate.
Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself first ahead of the crowd. We have created the ultimate step-by-step crypto cheat guide that will guide you this bull run. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Now by clicking on the link below to get your exclusive copy just under $10.
The first reason why I have conviction is I believe in this power law. I do think that this is sort of statistically how Bitcoin price is evolving. And furthermore, we can even talk about why this is happening. And the why of this is that Bitcoin adoption is also growing like a power law, right? It's growing like a power law. And so the important thing about a power law is the power, right? So at what power is this growing? And roughly it's growing at t to the power 6, okay? So as time goes by, it's not going at the square of time. It's not growing at the cube of time. It's growing to the 6th power of time, right? That's roughly how fast Bitcoin is growing. So you have this crazy, almost exponential growth, right? Not quite exponential, but it's almost exponential. And so a good way to think of it right now is Bitcoin's growing at about 40% per year. That's sort of the trend line Bitcoin. Now, around this, there's tremendous volatility, right? And if you look at it in sort of normal space, it almost makes no sense. It's sort of like, okay, it went up a lot in 2017, it crashed. It went up a lot in 2020, it crashed. Okay, now it's back. Okay, what do you make of this? It just seems like a, complete just sort of random event, right? But if you look at it in log terms, you see, no, there's a very clear pattern, right? A very clear pattern. And furthermore, you can even estimate the volatility around this pattern, right? So basically, the volatility is around 0.3 in logarithmic terms. What that means is that you can go up by 10 to the power 0.3, which is a double, or you can go down by 10 to the power negative 0.3, which brings you down to about half.
As Fred Krueger just discussed, Bitcoin ETFs are influencing the market, and the power law model offers predictions on Bitcoin's price trends. Now, let's turn our attention to why he believes Bitcoin adoption is growing exponentially, despite market volatility. With developments like SEC rulings and broader macroeconomic factors, this adoption trend is set to continue. Let's hear more from Fred Krueger.
So I would say, if I had to put a confidence interval, I would say 50,000 to 200,000, with 100,000 being the mean, kind of for the end of the year. Now, that's kind of that really should give you a lot of confidence that we're in a pretty good spot to invest in Bitcoin. But on top of that, we now have this ETF, right? And the ETF is probably a reason why we're going to exceed this on the upside, right? So, we're in this ETF and we're in the 4th bull market of Bitcoin. Okay, so everybody's focused on these halvings. I don't think that's the correct way to look at things. I think the correct way is looking at it in terms of bull markets. And the bull markets we had, roughly speaking, we had the first bull market was from the beginning to Mt. Gox collapse, right? November of 2013. That was the first bull market. I had money in Mt. Gox. I remember it well. Okay. Okay. That was the first bull market. The second bull market was really from late 2015 all the way out till December of 2017, right? That was the second big bull market. That was really fueled by Ethereum, right? That was the catalyst of that market. It wasn't even a Bitcoin bull market. It was really an Ethereum driven bull market. And the third bull market was from January of 2019 or late, maybe December 2018 till end of 2021, right? That's the way I would time that bull market. And if I had to say what it was caused by, I would say it was caused by search for yield. It was yield and DeFi, and people looking for yield with Celsius and FTX and Luna and all the rest, right? Again, not really Bitcoin, right? So people were, yes, you had Michael Saylor pushing Bitcoin back then, but really the narrative, everything was all about stable coins and to some extent about even Solana and other kind of things. So now we have this fourth bull market. And the fourth bull market, I would say it's really driven by ETFs more than anything else, right? And I think, the promise of the ETF started kicking in when we were at Bitcoin 25,000 almost, And so I think we're in that bull market. The market has quadrupled since the low of the last market, right? We've quadrupled off of 15,000. And so, where can we go from the low to the new high? Well, I'd say we could probably go 20x, that's normally where you go. Like if you go back from in the last bull market, right? We bottomed out at Bitcoin 3,500, right? So we started 2019 at around 4,000, okay? And we ended up at, 69,000, right? Mm-hmm. So, from 3,000 to 69,000, let's just call it 20x, right? Mm-hmm. So, it seems like a lot, but actually that's what we did. And we did even more in the 2017 markets.
Fred Krueger explains how institutional interest and adoption patterns are crucial for Bitcoin's future growth. We'd love to hear your thoughts on a few questions. Do you think institutional investors will keep driving Bitcoin's price? How do you envision Bitcoin adoption evolving over the next decade? For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.